Dear speakers on the tribune, once again we kindly ask you please keep the social distance. All the time maintain your social distance and wear your masks properly, please. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
يرجى احترام البروتوكول الصحي من خلال التباعد وكذلك من خلال الحفاظ على اللباس المصري كامل. شكرا لكم.
Well, a very big welcome back then to the second day here at the 2021 Doha Judo Masters. This unique city, situated on the Persian Gulf, plays host to the very best judo fighters in the world, and they're all battling it out for world qualification points for the Olympic Games later on this year. Now, after day one, we saw Korea lift the first two men's titles. They've got somebody else in the final of the under-73s, An Chang-grim, ready to go. And, well, 4 categories today, 2 men's, 2 ladies. We're starting this final block of day 2 with the bronze medal matches. And the bronze medal matches in the under-63 kilos category. 2 bronze medal matches, then the finals. And here's the first one up here. Andreas Barrios is up against Sana Verma of the Netherlands, and the Venezuelan here looking very determined. Like I say, big points up for grabs because it's all about qualifying in the top 18 in your category. There are wild cards as well, but a lot of these have been accumulating points for some time now. But of course, with the pandemic and everything that's happened in the last 12 months, very difficult for all sports. I think it's not just judo, and of course judo being one of the first sports back because well, really, I mean, we've all been in a bubble here. Everybody's in a bubble. It's not the ideal situation, but everybody is really up for it. Here we go then for the first bronze medal match. Barrios of Venezuela in white, Vermeer of the Netherlands in blue. It's the under 63 kilos category for ladies. 4 categories today, remember. It's the middleweights. We had 5 categories yesterday, 5 tomorrow still to come, 14 in all. Well, Vermeer straight into the attack there, and Vermeer, I can tell you, is one that I noticed about 6 months, 7 months ago, and I thought, wow, she has a lot of potential, and she'll be up there and round about fighting for medals at major tournaments. And here she is fighting for 3rd here at the World Masters. And remember, this is the World Masters for the best fighters in the world. It's not, sometimes people get a little bit mixed up. World Masters can mean veterans, but the World Masters here is a tournament for the very best. World champions, Olympic champions, and people preparing for the Olympic Games. They're all here. Vermeer lost in the semi-final to Nobukura. Nobukura of Japan in the final against the world champion, the reigning world champion, Abegnanu. Hot favourite for the Olympic title as well, but Olympics is a funny one. Now then, Vermeer going for Shimiwaza, strangle, and trying to get a submission here. Is she going to do it? No, just manages to pull her head out there, Barrios. Different ways of winning. 3 on the ground, actually. You can arm lock or strangle for a submission, or hold your opponent down for 20 seconds, 10 seconds if you've got a Wazari on the board. And you can also win by throwing your opponent flat on their back for an ippon. Ippon's what everybody's after. Or 2 wazaris. But what you can get is a wazari standing and a wazari on the ground as well. Well, certainly Barrios is here to fight. This is an ideal opportunity for her. Like I say, huge points at this World Masters. It's more than a Grand Slam or a Grand Prix, way more. Gold medal for a Grand Slam is 1,000 qualification points, and it's 1,800, nearly twice as many here at the Masters. Well, Wazari scored there to Vermeer. Wazari straight into the hold down and just needs to hold her for 10 seconds. Has a little look up at the clock there. And it's all over. She gets the bronze medal. Excellent performance from her. Not long out the juniors for Mia, and she has really shown that she is a force to be reckoned with. Brilliant performance from Vermeer, and the Netherlands have a medal.
In the blue jury, representing the Netherlands,
Well, that was an excellent, excellent performance. It really was. Time to laugh. I don't know whether that was a half laugh, half cry, but it was certainly that she was pleased. Tani Otoshi taking her opponent over onto her back. Just change of direction directly into the hold down, and well, they've got to stay within that yellow area while they're actually fighting. But if a technique starts in and it goes out then, or travels out as they're holding somebody down, then they can score with it, so it is counted. So as long as it starts inside the area. We have a penalty system as well. I'll point that out as we carry on. For the people out there that don't know judo, 3 shidos result in Hongsagamaki disqualification, but we'll get there in a bit, I'm sure we will. So Andrija Leski of Slovenia up against Magdalena Krasikova of Austria. Their world rankings, where Leski is at 13 at the moment, Krasikova at 18. So they're within the qualification criteria. But of course that can change. I mean, there's another 5 events still to come. Just looking now, just to see what events we have got. So still got the Israeli Grand Slam, Uzbekistan, and Tbilisi, Antalya, Paris, and then of course the Budapest Worlds. This is one of the first times that we've had World Championships and Olympic Games on the same year, so somebody's going to have a good year. Leski in white, Krasikova in blue. So the whole idea of using the feet there is to upset balance, break balance. You can throw completely with any kind of what we call ashiwaza, any kind of foot sweep, but quite often it's used in order to just break a balance, set up the line of attack. And there'll be strong gripping as well from these fighters, because they know what they want. If they get the grip, he who initiates their grip is normally the one that attacks, the one that controls the grip, should I say. Sleeve lapel is a traditional grip, and there's lots of different variations of grips on both sleeves, holding one side, and when you do that you have to attack immediately. Seen a lot of golden scores as well over the last 2 days, and it's not unusual for closely fought fights, because a lot of these fighters know each other very, very well. They're all high level and they kind of block each other out. 4 minutes is the contest time. You can see it just ticking away there on your board. If there's no score, and that wasn't a score, I think Kraskova landed on her front. So if they land on their side, then it's a Wazari. 2 Wazaris can make an ippon. Fully on the back, then you get the ippon, if it's with force and control. So he's going to have a little look there. I think the referee might just have a look to see if it was a side landing. Sometimes I think the arm was in there, so if there's an arm in the way, then they won't count it as a side landing. So have a look at the arm. Can't see it from that angle. That's often the case. I don't think it's going to be a score. Oh, they've given it. Well, so a Wazari given. So Leski scores, and so she is a Wazari up. You see they're backing their opponents up to the edge there. They're trying to get action-reaction, which is what our sport's all about. If they push them out, or if they step out the area, they'll get a Shido penalty. And like I say, you think, well, Shido penalty, still got another 2 there, but you haven't. You've only got another 1, and then the third one, it's all over. Not a way to lose a major tournament. Well, only just halfway over this contest, and that means that there's a lot of breaks in the contest. It hasn't got a lot of flow. That was very close as well. Nearly finished it there, Leski. It's interesting because Tridos of Slovenia, who is the Olympic champion, isn't here, and she's had a really big rivalry with Agbegnanu, and the time of the Olympics she kind of overtook Agbegnanu. Agbegnanu came back, won the world title back, and she's been the #1 since, but we're not going to see her up against Tridos at this tournament. Tersteniak, sorry, and oh, now then, that's it. Wazari ippon. In fact, that was a full ippon there, and Leski just manages to sidestep Kraskova and takes her flat onto her back. I was saying Tridos there. Tridos is, of course, a different category, and I meant Tersteniak, the Olympic champion. So please excuse me if you're listening. So Leski gets the bronze medal. She'll be standing up there with Vermeer of the Netherlands.
Congratulations. First medal for Andrea Leski in the Masters.
Well, that was the score. It was initially an attack from Kraskova and got taken backwards. But look at this Ashiwaza here. So the Ashiwaza scoops up the leg, and then good hands from Leski. Really takes her opponent flat onto her back. Great control. Well, you can see the difference there between a Wazari and an ippon, and the ippon puts her absolutely flat on her back. That back patch there totally and absolutely hits the ground. She was in the hold down as well. So great example there, and it's good for us because we can see it from so many different angles. Sometimes if you see a technique from a certain angle, it doesn't quite, well, you can't see the full picture. It's one of the problems when somebody takes an individual picture and says, what do you think about this? Because actually when you see the whole movement up to it, what builds up to it, then you see it's totally different. Here she is, Clarisse Agbegnanu, three-time world champion, and she is, I'm telling you now, she is a whirlwind, and she's up against Nebukura of Japan. And Nebukura, well, she does very well against Agbegnanu. Agbegnanu, I've got to say, watched her all the way through the day. She was very clinical, and I think that a lot of the top fighters just struggling a little bit with timing and not looking quite as sharp as they can do. But who wants to look that sharp 6 months out from the Olympic Games? Of course, their main aim is to peak and be absolutely spot on for the Olympic Games. And so these events, really, they'll be doing their training and be part of the way through certain parts of their training, and it might be a conditional part of their training or a conditioning part or a power phase. They're all different phases that you go through, and when you have to compete at the same time, you're not always on top of it. Anyway, Agbegnanu looking good, Nebukura looking good, and Agbegnanu is in white. Left against right, and you can see that Agbegnanu predominantly left-handed, and Nebukura is right-handed, and it can cause a problem that when you're trying to catch the sleeve, but both of these fighters seem to have the sleeve, but it does make it awkward to come in for certain techniques, and dangerous. Now looking for the turnover here, Agbegnanu trying from the front, and Nebukura knows that if she reacts to that, she's going to find herself in trouble. And it's normally the Japanese that have unbelievable transition from standing down to ground, and they'll always follow it down to ground. They're well rehearsed with it. Such is the confidence, though, of the reigning world champion. See the red patch there? That means reigning world champion. If they've got a gold patch, it's the reigning Olympic champion. So penalty each. You can see it there, the little yellow spot on the board there. 3 of those and it's all over. And of course we don't want to see that. We want to see it end with a big throw or something on the ground. Not on penalties. But like any sport, we have our tactics, and you can't always throw everybody. We'd like to. Sometimes it's about attacking and staying dominant, making sure you attack at the right times and with quality, of course. So a second Shido there to Nebukura, and she knows now in her mind that if she doesn't put the work in and Agbegnanu just piles on the pressure, that third penalty is going to come. Close, very close there. Agbegnanu nearly took her to the side. Just halfway through, and there's the French support there. They had an amazing European Championships, the French ladies. They came away with 5 out of 7 titles at the European Championships. That was just last month. Now looking for the big technique. She'll have to attack here. Can't just put the leg in. She's just a little bit wary there because Nebukura is thinking of a counter technique as well. And of course, Agbegnanu is thinking, well, I'll go a penalty if Nebukura goes a penalty. And Nebukura is very lucky there because she She's got nothing to play with, but Agbegnanu has. Neither one of them attacks. They get penalty each, and Nebukura loses. Good attack now. Now they'll start to open up, and that's when you get the opportunity then to throw. Just the same as boxing. If you get two big hitters coming in, slugging away at each other, then somebody is going to be knocked out, and it's the same here. And I mean that obviously in a metaphoric way, not knocked out but thrown. Oh, and that's what I'm talking about, getting countered there. Agbegnanu, big technique, and Nebukura, that was groundwork, that was off the ground, but willing to give it a go, isn't she? Nebukura attacking the world champion. Look at that, big hip technique, and she escapes it and then almost puts an attack in herself there. Japan lying second in the medals at the moment. Had 1 gold, 2 silvers yesterday, but plenty of opportunities today. And a nice technique there from Nebukura. What a great fight this is. Really good fight. 3 seconds left of the first 4 minutes. Looks like this is going to be the first one to go into golden score. So a golden score can go any amount of time as long as they're attacking at the right time. So that's around about every 20 to 30 seconds, depending whether it's a real positive, good attack, or if they don't step outside the area, or do something major wrong. But they're very experienced, these guys. They know exactly what the score is. Look at the work rate there from Agbegnanu, and very dominant with the grip. You can tell that both of the hands on an opponent there have an effect. Nebukura goes to ground. Now she's looking for the turnover again. Got to be careful she doesn't crank on the neck. Go around the neck with the jacket, or just around the neck, but you've got to be careful that you don't put the neck under pressure by pushing the head down. So you can strangle or you can choke, but you can't put the spine under pressure. Left sorry Kamigoshi there, Agbegnanu. And she knows that there's danger there. She really covers up there and tries to turn her body completely the wrong way around there. You give any kind of a start on the ground to somebody that has a well-rehearsed move, and you can be in trouble. Nebukura beat Vermeer in the semi-final. Vermeer, we just saw, having an absolutely unbelievable day. Now what's going to happen here? Same situation. Well, I've seen Agbegnanu put under pressure like this, and being the great champion that she is, she produces things out of the blue. You can never say never with Agbegnanu. Of course, the Olympic Games are in Japan, so some of the fighters here at this tournament have been sent to fight some of their main rivals that they haven't beaten. And some are here as number 2s because the category has already been selected. So the team, the Japanese team, already has been selected. Oh, and that's it. Look at that. Like I said, pulls it out the bag. Brilliant Kosoto there from the world champion. And Nabakura, well, she held out, didn't she? So well. She went nearly 7 minutes there, toe-to-toe with the world champion. And that was a terrific match. It really was. And as I said, just showing her form, showing her class, should I say, and getting better actually as she went through the day. Can't be bad, can it? You come to a tournament like the World Masters as world champion, not on your best form, and you still work your way through the best opposition in the world.
Gold medal in a Masters, Clarisse Angbenenou, France.
Look how she goes round the back there, and then big Tanio Toshi to the back. Arm first, then round the back. Has to attack immediately. Big Kosoto, Tanio Tosh. And, well, Nabakura couldn't do anything about it. That was a great, opportune technique there. She just waited her time. Never really looked in danger, but you've got to say that she was made to work for it. Great judo, and a gold medal for France, another gold medal for France.
It's time for the next contest.
So now to the men's under 73 kilos. Vanka of Germany is here against Smagalov of Kazakhstan. We've seen some really explosive judo in this under 73 kilograms category. Exciting stuff, and I've got to say that the Uzbeks, the Aziz, and also the Kazakhstan fighters have been producing some incredible techniques that come from different angles, and, well, you don't see them coming because they're not in what we call the Japanese gokyo, they're variations of. This man here, though, Vanka of Germany, can upset the odds. It should be a really good fight. Young German team, they're getting better and better every day. And every tournament. Here we go, Vanka in white and Smagalov in blue. And get ready for some unusual techniques here, because both of these can produce unusual stuff. Smagalov has a very unusual Yoko Gak that he does, and you don't see it very often in competition, but he makes it work. Putting Smagalov under pressure here, Vanka. It's nice to hear a few people shouting. It sounds like we've got a lot more, but of course we're in a bubble situation here, so we've not got a lot of people watching, but these fighters, they can only hear themselves here. It's just about them when they get out there. Kata. I said they'd be going for it. Vodka 24 in the world rankings, and Smagulov is 26 in the world rankings. They're not quite in the qualification part yet, so we'll see a lot more of those over the next over the next 4 tournaments. There on the left from Smagulov. Well, he goes right and then suddenly switches it to left, Smagulov. One mistake though, if he makes one mistake, Vanka will be on it. Just over halfway. Oh, good Sinagi, drop shoulder throw. Right the way underneath. Didn't quite have the pull on the sleeve there to rotate Vanka onto his back or side. Well, he hasn't been able to do anything so far, Vanka. He's had his sleeves dominated. Already a Shido up there. But on the other side of that, Smagulov keeping his sleeves down, and he gets a penalty for it because that's what he was looking to do, make Vanka unable to attack at all. And so you've got to be positive with your grips. If you're going to push them down, then you've got to explode them back up again into an attacking position. Great attacking here from both fighters. It's tight, but you can see that they really want it, and they want to score. It's all about intention. Visa, the president of the International Judo Federation, looking down and enjoying the judo that's done such an amazing job to get judo back on the map. Make sure that we get this Olympic Games. Oh, look at that! Now then, did he rotate onto his front? So we'll have a little look there. This goes to the video referee. We'll have 3 different cameras that will have a look there to see the landing. Now, they might say that, and we'll see it from behind, are we going to see a different angle there? We've only saw one angle. They've given the Wazari 5 seconds to go here, and Smagulov now is going to be absolutely desperate. But that was a great win there for Vanka, and that hit technique didn't quite have the control, but took him onto his side. And I know that there'll be judoka out there will be going, well, that wasn't for me, it was Wazari, but it's a new Wazari. This, remember that what they did was they used to have 4 scores, and now we've only got 2 scores, so they accumulated some of the lower scores into the Wazari, and landing on the side scores. And it's a shame we can't have a look from a different angle so that we can see the absolute landing on the side. And that's what the video referees and the supervisors will have. They'll have 3 different angles, and guaranteed that they'll show Smagolov landing on this side. So let's have a look again. We might get the 3 different angles now in the replay. We'll see the action replays. Let's hope they slow this down here so that we can have a little look. So has his sleeve dominated? Look at that. And I think you can see from that angle better than any other angle there. Uses it to his advantage. That's what action reaction is all about. And he just about makes contact with his side. Pops straight onto his front, of course, and that's what you see at speed. You see the opponent going onto the front. You say, well, he landed on his front, but actually the landing was right the way down the side of the body. Great opportune stuff there from Wonka, and Wonka gets Germany's bronze medal in the under 73 kilos category. This should be an exciting one as well, because Turiev of Uzbekistan up against Antoine Bouchard of Canada. Both big throwers. So as long as they stop offloading their big guns, then we should see some big techniques.
Welcome, Judo Highlight. In the blue judo gi, representing Canada.
Some big ippons earlier on from Bouchard.
Antoine Bouchard.
Also from Turiev. Turiev, of course,
In the white judo gi, representing
lost in the quarterfinal stages actually, so he had to do an extra match in the repechage to come through to fight for 3rd place, beating Chikova of Kosovo in that repechage final. And of course, Bouchard losing to Hashimoto. World ranked #1, but he's not going to the Olympic Games. Can you believe that? The world champions going to the Olympic Games from Japan. Straight away, straight in for the Sumigeshi there, Bouchard. Bouchard in blue and attacking in Newaza. Straight away in there, trying for a triangular strangle with the legs. It's a great transition there from Bouchard. Canada producing some great players in the men's and the ladies team. All thanks to their director of coaching, Nicholas Gill, and well, he's got a lot of help as well, but they've really got it together and having a lot of success. Well, he tends to keep that leg in quite a long time, Bouchard, there, and there is a rule that you can't keep the leg in without attacking, so he will have to be careful about that. So feeds the leg in so that it's already in, and then what will happen is he'll get the support leg more central. He's got to be careful with that though, because Turiev, huge pickups. So the longer that Bouchard stays in there, the more likely he is to touch the ceiling there. The landing wasn't quite right. He landed on his elbow, so no score given. Difference in styles here is incredible, it really is. A lot of the wrestling styles from some of these Uzbeks and the Azeris, and also the Georgians, of course, come from wrestling backgrounds, the Mongolians as well. And it means that they have different grips and different ways of executing some of the techniques. And of course, now that they're judo nations as well, they've just learned to adapt them with jackets on. And kind of gives them a double whammy. So not that they can't do judo, but they've just got unusual techniques. Really attacking on the ground here. Smuggler, Tereyev, sorry, doesn't like it at all. Not a good place for him to be down there. Now, if he can get some kind of leverage here, then we're going to see Tereyev in trouble. So he's just needs to come up again and go again. Oh, I would have given him probably a little bit more time. Looked to me as if that was going to develop, but anyway, they do get a lot more time in Newaza now, of course, and the main criteria for that is that it's progressive. So Tereyev gets a Shido. He's got to initiate some techniques. Oh, and he does. Oh, look at that. What an ashiwaza that was. And, well, that was more of a Sasai Surakami, which is, well, he blocked and he lifted and he rotated. But, like I say, he has different techniques that he does from it. Well, look at that. It wasn't even that. It was, he hooked the inside, and it was all Tewaza from the hands to rotate Bouchard onto his side. Such an... Oh, he's done it again. Oh. Bouchard this time says, no, I'm not going to go there again. But he's got to get out of there because that's not the place to be. Wow, 41 seconds to go. Bouchard is going to come forwards. Tereyev, like I say, is a Yoko Gaki as well. But such unusual ways of doing some of the techniques, and from different angles. I think it's not so much the technique itself; it's the way they get into it. There's the traditional style of judo, Uchimata there from Tereyev. There's a little look at the clock there. That 30 seconds as well. He looked up there just to see where the clock was. And if he runs away, he could get more penalties. So he can't run away here. It's not like you can just run away, run off the edge. You can't do it. And I've seen people lose in the last 3 to 10 seconds. And it's not a good way to lose. So you're better to stay really, really stable and to stay attacking. A little bit of a rest now. Referee will try to get it to carry on. So 29 seconds and he's got to stay his ground. Can't run away. Bouchard, here he comes. Bouchard, Uchimata. Sumige. Now he might just get, Tereyev might get a penalty here. If he gets a second penalty and then a drop in the last 10 seconds, he might be in trouble. Does he get the penalty? Doesn't get it. Okay, so he's still got one to play with. Needs to block out. Like I say, best form of attack. Or defense, should I say, is attack. 8 seconds left. Bouchard coming forwards. That's all over. And Tereyev, Uzbekistan, wins the bronze medal with a beautifully executed, well, just trying to think what it is, but it's a form of Yokogaki, I guess, but it kind of does a kouchi the wrong way, but we'll have a look at it and see if we can come up with a name for it. It's certainly ashiwaza anyway.
Winner and bronze medalist for medal 73 kilograms In the white judogi, representing Uzbekistan, Prix.
Ilyas Iliadis, who is the director of coaching Uzbekistan now, and he'll be really happy with that. That was a great result.
Congratulations. First medal in the Masters, Uzbekistan.
A lot of nerves when you're walking out there. Well, it looked like he just leant into it, didn't he? But it's really a change of body movement, use of the hips, use of the hands, especially the hands. And he uses the leg as well just to start it off. And it's the use of the leg there, just chops away at the front leg. And at the same time, the kazushi, the pulling hand on the sleeve, and then the lapel hand pushing downwards, upsets the balance. Beautifully taken, Tewaza. You could say it's a form of sumio-tosh as well. Good sportsmanship when it's all over. Wow, what a final we've got in store, because as I said, the world rank #1, Hashimoto of Japan. Here he is. Oh, he's world rank #2 at the moment, Hashimoto, up against An Chang-grim, world rank 13, former world champion. He was a world champion 2018, An Chang-grim. Hashimoto was world champion 2017. An Chang-grim will be going to the Olympic Games almost for sure, barring injury, of course. But Hashimoto, will he do the World Championships? Probably will do the World Championships, but you never know. But they'll keep Ono, who is quite clearly the world best and #1 choice for the Olympic Games. But Hashimoto here, everything to prove, up against An Chang-grim. But An Chang-grim and Hashimoto thrashed it out in the final of the World Championships in 2018. 2018, yes, it was 2018, and An Chang-grim came off the better here. So I think Hashimoto is going to be absolutely gunning for him. Hashimoto of Japan in white, An Chang-grim of Korea in blue. Remember that out of the 3 men's weight categories, Korea have the under-60s and the under-66s in the bag from yesterday. They'll really make a statement if they get gold here with An Chang-grim. Renowned for his groundwork, Hashimoto, but he has great throwing skills. Both of them have. But they're both Seoinage men, so big shoulder throws. Whether they'll have the chance to really get underneath for them. Both capable of doing it left and right. Right the way underneath there. Now, did he go against the arm? We've had a couple of situations the last couple of days where people have been attacking off the sleeve against straight arms, and it's normally if they don't go right the way through and underneath their opponent and just do a direct attack. And of course, it's Honsogomaki's disqualification if it goes against the arm joint. Like I said before, it's about intent. If the intent is to throw for ippon, normally they'll get away with it. But if it's just to put an attack in for the sake of an attack, that's when the disqualification will happen. Not just the men either, it's the women as well. Strong grip fighting here from these two, and they know that the one that gets two hands on is the one that's going to explode underneath. Well, it was always going to be a tough match. Decided to change it to the left Seanagi then, Hashimoto. Kota Inui, team manager, team coach of the Japanese men's team. And he is former Olympic and three-time world champion and one of the greatest ever. One of the greatest technicians and super coach as well. Good ashiwaza there, Hashimoto. For the non-judoka out there that are watching this, the whole idea is to get the grip that you want and then try and throw your opponent over, carry it on to the ground if you can, but easier said, because these two, you can feel the danger through the hands, and the grips are very important in judo. That's why we have this jacket and trousers made of such thick material, because the gripping is strong. You'd rip it straight in half if it wasn't of the right material. I can tell you that the first thing that goes in a contest is your forearms and your grips. It's the first thing that you get lactic acid in. I've had it so that my forearms looked like they were going to explode, like Popeye's forearms. Well, that went quickly, didn't it? First 4 minutes. Now going into golden score. Any score will do it.
Golden score.
One penalty up there to An Chang Grim. Means he's got to initiate it. So I think that Hashimoto is the one that's pushing forward. He wants to grip up, but looks very cool, calm and collected, Hashimoto, I've got to say. But so does An Chang Grim. Now he has the sleeve here, and now he's going to go in. There was a delay on that. He won't get a score for it, so he was right the way underneath there, An Chang Grim, and then has a second little go. If there's a delay, small delay, then it's classed as two movements, and one of them was off the ground. So if it's continuous, then you can actually go to ground, and then continuous movement will enable you to score. Hashimoto, two techniques there, back to back. Big Seanagi and then Tomonagi sacrificing his own weight or his own body. Sacrifice techniques when you drop on your own back, trying to throw your opponent, but you've got to be careful because of course you leave yourself open. Anybody's match, this one. Well, you can see now, can't you, how important the gripping is. They're trying to take the dominant grip, and of course, because one's fighting left and the other one right, they've got a problem catching sleeve and lapel. There'll be a penalty each, and that means Anshan Grim will get a second penalty now, so he's one off disqualification. Hashimoto knows that, so if he puts some good work in here, could possibly win the contest by default. Saying that, and it normally sparks them off and gives them just that little bit of an edge to attack. Well, again, you can see there Hashimoto just pushing Anshan Grim away, didn't want him with two hands on. So that's negative, so if he's not careful, he will get a second penalty, and there's a really good technique there from Anshan Grim. Difference between positive and negative grips. You can fight somebody's grip off and not let them take a hold, or you can come in and try and positively dominate the grip. Big difference. Change of direction there, straight in there, wasn't he? And I tell you now, he's gone against the arm. The arm was straight. They'll have a look at that to see if that was a dangerous technique or not, because it was Sori Surakomigoshi, but and you'll see him go against a straight arm. So he's gone underneath. Both hands are on the arm, and I can tell you now that I think he will get disqualified for that technique. And they'll look at that very, very carefully. I don't know if we're going to see see it one more time. You can see both hands are on the arm, and he's gone against the shoulder. It's really dangerous to do it there, and normally we see him doing it with a slightly different action. He gets Hon Sokomaki and disqualified. Anshan Grim wins the third gold medal for Korea, and as soon as he did it, I thought that doesn't look as if it hit in the right direction at all. You've got to, I mean, Anshan Grim wasn't making a thing of it. I mean, he could have easily just laid there and gone, well, my arm was nearly broken, but he didn't make a thing of it. He just said, well, that's the way it is. And it's a gain now. He's beaten Hashimoto. Hashimoto making a big mistake, and it is a big mistake at this level.
This is first gold medal.
Putting
in the Masters.
Hashimoto under pressure on the edge there, and Hashimoto knew he had to attack. Hashimoto's the one that does this normally. Look at that. So straight under the armpit. So there was no hips going across the body. And what happens is the arm bends in a positive way, in a good way, if you go across the body and the hips go in first. But that was just directly against the arm. Anyway, gold medal to Anshan Grim, and it's Korea's third gold medal. So we have a medal ceremony now, the first medal ceremony of this second day of competition. We're halfway through already. Wow, some great judo in this final block. The under 63 kilos category for ladies, and the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Visa, will be presenting the medals.
Bronze medalists are representing Slovenia, Andrea Leški. And representing the Netherlands,
bronze medal, Andreja Liski of Slovenia and Sunny Vermeer of the Netherlands. They get the bronze medals. Silver medal goes to Nebukura Nami of Japan. No doubting the gold medalist. Another great performance from the world champion, world number one, world champion, and number one here now at the World Masters. Of course, it would be sad if it didn't transfer into the Olympic Games. We know that, but you know, sometimes it happens, but she's certainly going in the direction. Look at that Tani Otoshi there against Nebukura Nami of Japan. It was in golden score. She manages to pull off a massive ippon. Big smile, and she is magnanimous with her in defeat as well as victory. I can tell you, she takes it all very, very well. And I saw her taking it so well one time. She said it's only one match. Look at her, top of the rostrum.
Thank you very much. Family picture with VIPs and judoka.
Family picture then. Agbegnanu wins gold, Nebukura, Japan silver, and Vermeer and Leski of Slovenia get the bronzes.
Women under 63 kilo.
Back to the ladies. Ladies under 70 kilograms, and this lady here, Kim Polling of the Netherlands, up against her fellow countryman, Sanne van Dijk.
For the next bronze medal contest for women under 70 kilo.
مباراة الميدالية البرونزية الأولى لوزن 70 كيلوغرام سيدات.
Well, this is a prime example of two in the same category here, and remember that it's the country that decide which one of these will go to the Olympic Games. Van Dijk at the moment has the higher world ranking at number 3. Kim Polling is at number 6, but they will send the one that they think is going to get the best Olympic medal, and so that's what everybody will do. And there is some talk of, you know, should we make it so that it's just the higher world ranked person that goes, but at the moment that's not it. So at the moment, Kim Polling still in with a big shout here of going to the Olympic Games. Kim Polling has been the number 1 in the world for quite some time, up until 2 years ago, and then she'd never won a world title, but she's won this World Masters 3 times. 3 times or 4 times. But here she is, straight into the attack there with Van Dijk, and Van Dijk, who's in blue, has got everything to go for here. Kim Polling can attack from lots of different angles, and she's very explosive. The last time they fought, these two, Kim Polling came out the better. So no love lost here. There's an Olympic place here. It's not just on this match, of course, because plenty of competition still to come. But one thing that is absolutely guaranteed is that it's not over right until that last contest. Good situation to be in for the Dutch, that's for sure. Well, it's up to Van Dijk now. Van Dijk has got to make sure that she attacks off the bat, and she's the one that's got to take the initiative. And again, Polling. Building up to the last Olympic Games, thought for sure that Polling was the hot favourite, and just went off the boil just prior to the Olympic Games, and just never, it didn't go her way. She dominated the category for so long, and here she is, she's back in there fighting at the very top. And well, just look at the world rankings. It means that well, that was two different movements there. She took Van Dijk back, didn't she? But it stopped for a millisecond, and then she took her back. Now she's got to get a leg out there. If she can get a leg out, then the Osai Komi will commence, or the countdown. 20 seconds, remember, without entanglement of the legs. So you've got to hold them down on their back without any legs in contact with each other. Well, this will definitely make a difference between their world rankings. And remember, Van Dijk will still pick up big points here, even with if she doesn't win the bronze medal. But, you know, big points for the bronze medal, points as well for 5th place. But that's not what they're after, of course. They want to dominate, and that was a close one there. Overstretched herself there, Polling. Van Dijk, well, this is what started that little bit of groundwork situation off. And then she did exactly the same to Polling. So Polling has a Wazari on the board from that last encounter. They gave her the score. I thought it was two different movements, but the video referees have said differently. Great thing about the referee supervising job is that the referee supervisors, who are the video referees, they have 3 different angles that they can see the throw land from. And you know, you can also you can get a totally different account of a technique if you see it from all those different angles. And we have been known to look at something, go, yeah, definitely a score, or definitely not a score, and then you see it from a couple of different angles, it's totally different. Left Sianagi there from Polling. 30 seconds left, and a penalty up there to Van Dijk. I say there's a few fellow countrymen that are in the same situations here. They've got 2 world-class fighters in the same weight category. Only one can represent at the Olympic Games. 20 seconds left on the clock. Nothing silly now. She just needs to play a little bit cautiously. Van Dijk is the one that's got to come forwards. Arm over, tries the sumigaeshi. 6 seconds left on the clock. Last go now from Van Dijk. So Van Dijk loses the domestic sort out here of the Netherlands at under 70 kilograms. Kim Polling wins bronze. And you can see there a little bit of disappointment on her face there. Disappointment because she's had such, this is her event. She's always had a really good event here. 4 times a winner here at the World Masters. But never a world title. That was it. And it was one movement, wasn't it? Look at this. Van Dijk comes in for the technique. Off her knees here, and well, Kim Polling just rotates her onto her side, and well, looked like she landed on the elbow. Let's have a little look, see how she makes contact. No, the whole side there goes into contact, and Kim Polling gets the score. Exactly what I was talking about there. One angle doesn't look too favourable, but from the other angle it does. One of the rules here is this: if both hands are not on the floor, then you can still be thrown, and of course it's something that referees are starting to play now. So anyway, here we go, second bronze medal match. Ivana Skamaro of Germany up against Oyaf Coughlin of Australia.
Welcome the referee from Republic of Korea.
Coughlin, wow, what a tournament she's had. I don't think we've ever seen an Australian fighter fighting for third place at a World Masters. Here she is.
First time in a Masters final block.
Lost in the semi-final to Tomazova of Russia, but she came all the way through, beat Polling, Kim Polling of the Netherlands. Coughlin also beat Peleras of Austria, and she beat Portela of Brazil as well. So she's beaten some really special people coming through here. Skamaro lost in the semi-final. In fact, she lost to Van Dijk in the quarterfinals, and well, had to fight against Kim of Korea in the repechage final. But here they are, fighting for the other bronze medal in the under 70 kilos category. Wouldn't it be amazing if Coughlin could get Australia's first ever medal in a World Masters? Taking the fight to Skamaro. Certainly, Coughlin taking the initiative here. Skamaro getting a penalty for not attacking. She hasn't had a chance to attack yet. Well, she scored several times during the day, hooking in there and hopping big Uchimata technique through, and now starting to go to work. Skamaro in white. Well, Coughlin doing very, very well. Oh, look at that. Great support there from the Australian team. Sat up there in the stands. Shouting their support and wishing they were there as well, I'm sure. What a great job. Look at that, the Germans there. Also supporting Scochamero, and it's good to have some support up there. It's quite difficult for these fighters sometimes. I mean, it's an empty stadium. We're not used to empty stadiums. But it'll all be worth it come the Olympic Games. The fighters just really grateful that they can get out there and fight, being a really close contact sport. Look at that, Uchimata there, Scochamaro feeding the leg through and changing directions with the Ouchi and then into the Uchimata. Well, if Coughlin can get onto this rostrum, wow, that'll be the best rostrum she's ever been on. Kim Polling of the Netherlands. It's going to be Tamizova of Russia and Yoko Ono of Japan. Well, now, I'm just about to say, Coughlin has to take the initiative as well. She'll have to start piling on the attacks now, because certainly Scochamaro has put in more attacks in this last couple of minutes. Scochamaro lost to Van Dijk in the quarterfinals. The thing about the repechage, you can lose to somebody, but if you lose in the quarterfinals, it's got to be quarters or semi-final stages to enable you to have a chance of any kind of medal. One second left then, first 4 minutes. And amazingly, it's Scochamaro that has 2 Shidos on the board, so one more penalty up there and she will lose this fight. And certainly she is the one putting the attacks in now in the second half of that 4 minutes. Oh, and she nearly latched on. Oh, look at that. Almost walked onto one as well. Coughlin there decides to rotate through. One of the problems when you're offloading or when you're putting the other one under pressure, you're coming forwards all the time. And of course, there's a danger of walking onto a technique. Uchigari, Uchimata. Well, Coughlin will get a Shido, I'm sure, any second now. Hits across. Oh, that's it. That's it. Wazari scored there. Scochamaro just does enough. Big hips went through, and Coughlin went over the top. It wasn't a full Ippon, of course, but it was a Wazari, and it was in golden score, so no other score required. But what a tournament Coughlin has had. They're absolutely amazing, and it needs special mention because it was a really special performance. All the way to the semi-final, losing only to the Russian. Just lost here to in golden score to Sukamaro. Credit to Sukamaro of Germany. Big hips went across. She dominated the second half of that contest and the golden score.
The highlights of this
big arm went round the back, and look, massive hip movement there, and just spot the landing on the side. Just managed to get her foot down to avoid it, and turned onto her front pretty quickly, but absolutely on her side, and a definite score. One score in golden score is enough. Good good kazushi, good pulling action on the sleeve, and good suruti as well, and that was a great win. Germany then are on the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final women under 70 kilo.
نرحب بالدور النهائي لوزن 70 كيلوغرام سيدات.
So 21 years of age, Tamazova of Russia up against 30-year-old Ono Yoko, and Ono has been on great form. Really nice stance, really love her stance, and looking for the big technique all the time. And 10 years between these two. Tamazova, though, everything to play for. She's world ranked 30 here. Ono is in the top 10 already, but big win here would be fantastic for her world ranking, and it will change it for sure. Look at her stance when she steps out onto the mat. There's the Germans again, looking very very positive up there.
Representing Russia, first time in a Masters final.
What an amazing tournament. She's already beaten the world champion, Tamazova. She beat Marie-Eve Gahi of France. She beat Gemma Howell of Great Britain as well, and she beat Machiniazova of Uzbekistan in the first round. What a tournament she's had. Ono, winner over Van Dijk in the semi-final. Left-handed fighter, and as soon as she catches the sleeve, watch her stance, because she's very upright and only looks for the way in. She's fighting a right-hander. Right-handers tend to struggle with lefties, and lefties do better with right-handers. And the reason is there's an imbalance of lefty to righties, so it means that the amount of practice that lefties have with right-handed fighters is a lot more than the other way around. It's a fact. So looking for the newaza here, Ono. Very good newaza she has, good transition, and Tamazova doesn't need to stay down there. Just a feeling, I think that it's going to end in a throw, this match. It's one of the problems fighting somebody opposite stance is that they just move the leg out of the way, especially if you're an Uchimata person like Ono. She likes to go right the way up the middle there, and she has to get central. It's always about finding the line. First time ever in a Grand Slam Masters final. Tamazova. She's here to fight though, that's for sure. All about that sleeve, and of course Tamazova will have to get rotation on that Sinag. If she just drops on her knees there, she'll get penalised for it, for just dropping. She might just get it now. Well, no, it goes against Ono. It's Ono that's got to attack. What I think's going to happen here is I think she's going to catch the sleeve and then she's going to go in. So it's going to be all the big guns going in. Look at the feet attacking that front leg there, and Tamazova doesn't know what to do with that. And now latching onto the arm, and this is not a good place here for Tamazova, and straight into the hold down there. Didn't quite have the control there, Ono. Rolled outside now. It's got to be one movement. Any break in the movement, it's Mate's. So they've got to stand up, and Ono's got to go again. That's going to get penalised. That drop there had no rotation, and so Tamazova now realises that she's got to get rotation, and also you've got to have good gripping as well, good control of your opponent. Big thundering right arm over the back. Oh, and almost had it there. Didn't quite have the sleeve, did she, Ono?
Eu não ouço o caralho, né?
Bit of a clash there, fingers, when you're going in for the jacket. Flurry of gripping strategies can end up with fingers going into eyes and things. It's not done purposely. Oh, that was close. That's Sotomaka Komi there from Tamazova. Very nearly rotated Ono over. It's going to go into golden score this final. So the coaches on the side only allowed to shout information to their fighters in between mate. So when they're actually fighting, they can't do it. Well, same situation. Exactly there. Now she's going to turn it. Now this might be a little bit of a dangerous situation here for Tamazova. Tamazova is trapping the leg, and she thinks that that's safe, but she's going to come up onto that arm in a minute. And now trying for the Jujigatame. Tamazova will try and upset the balance. Just manages to get out of that. So a bit of avoidance there from Tamazova. Nearly a minute into golden score, 1 Shido apiece. One more Shido for either one of them would inject a little bit of pace, I'm sure. Not saying they should get it, but anyway, that's what normally happens. Oh no, just wants to get on with it. Oh no, pushing Tamazova up towards the edge there, hoping that she'll push back. And again, same movement here for the hold down. And is she going to go for the arm? She's gone onto the arm. Now watch this. This started in. Now if it goes out, it doesn't matter. And she's gone into the hold down. So she always threatened it, didn't she? And now she's got the arm in Udikatami, sorry. And she's just going to keep the arm lock on there. And she's got the Tati Shiogatami as well, just needs to hold it for the full 20 seconds. It's all over, and, well, Tamazova needed to stay out of that situation because she always threatened Ono did with the groundwork situation. So good bit of groundwork there, and she had to work hard for it. Nearly 2 minutes, 1 second off 2 minutes into golden score.
Gold medalist and Doha World Judo Masters winner. In the blue judogi, representing Japan, Ono Yoko.
Big smile now.
This is the first gold medal in a Masters for Ono Yoko, Japan.
Second gold medal then
Also
for Japan.
With the silver medal, Mazina Taimazawa, Russia.
So in the same situation that they'd been in several times before, and I think that, well, she'd managed to avoid it. Tamazova managed to avoid it a few times, but this time she was on the arm. It started inside the area, went outside, so it started in, it's okay. Straight into the Tati Shihogatami, but then she decides to have a little go at the arm as well. So she straightens the arm out, doesn't go for the submission from the arm, just decides to let the 20 seconds accumulate. So great bit of newaza there by Yoko Ono, and that was really superb bit of groundwork.
Welcome to the medal ceremony for men under 73 kilo.
نرحب بأبطال وزن 73 كيلوغرام للرجال.
The medals will be presented by the Vice President of the International Judo Federation and President of the Pan-American Judo Federation, Mr. Manuel
Laranaga of Puerto Rico presenting the prizes.
And representing Germany,
bronze medals go to Turiev of Uzbekistan, and a well-deserved bronze medal also for Igor Vodka of Germany. Hashimoto of Japan makes a mistake. What a mistake that was. Attacked against the arm of An Chang-grim of Korea. An Chang-grim then on top of the rostrum, and that's 3 gold medals now, 3 men's weight categories and 3 gold medals.
of the Qatar Taekwondo, Judo and Karate Federation.
So there was the movement there. Big Surikomigoshi movement, or Sodi Surikomigoshi, right against the elbow there, and well, two hands were on it as well, so no doubt about the Honsokomaki. This man here just worked his way through the opposition all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Korea.
النشيد الرسمي الكوري.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIPs and judoka.
Family picture then, and time to reflect. Good win for An Chang-grim, third gold for Korea. Hashimoto of Japan winning the silver. Vonka of Germany and Turiev of Uzbekistan received the bronze medals. Great category, some great judo.
Next contest, the bronze medal contest for men under
What a final.
1 kilo.
This is going to be, oh sorry, the other bronze medal match we've got to go, of course, in the under 81 kilograms. Now we're back to the men, and please excuse me, Kubetsov is up against Ivanov, and this is going to be an absolute cracker. And I said earlier that every match, almost every match at this tournament is a final of some sort at world level. It really is. This man here was world #1 for quite some time. Went off the boil a little bit, but then now he's back. He's against Kubetsov of Russia. So Kubetsov, Ivanov for third place. The world champion, Sagimuki of Israel, will be doing the other bronze medal match up against Lee Sung-ho. He's having a great day, it really is. And Grigalishvili of Georgia, Frank DeWitt final, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them in a minute, because that is going to be an absolute cracker. Kubetsov of Russia is in white here. Ivanov of Bulgaria is in blue. Straight into the attack there. Well, he just lost a bit of control there, Ivanov, with that Seanagi, otherwise it could have scored. It wasn't too far off. They're both explosive throwers, these two. Anything can happen. Opposite stance again, left against right. Kubetsov, left-handed. Always a problem with that sleeve. Yoko Otoshi off to the right there, Ivanov. So the switch of direction is what you need to look out for as well, because if you go one direction all the time, it's like footballer going down the right wing all the time. Sometimes you have to switch to the left in order to break through the defences, and that's what happens here. That's going to be a score. Wazari scored. Brilliant stuff. It's all part of one movement there. Look at Ivanov. He drops down, but Cadets uses the hands there. It's what we call the tip. That's not the Japanese name for it, but he uses the hands, Sumiotosh kind of movement with the hands to rotate the person over. Very low technique, but it works. So Kubetsov of Russia is ahead by Wazari. One more of those and it'll be all over. Straight away, immediately he took hold of that sleeve there. He was rotating through for the Sodisuri Kamigoshi. Well, Ivanov this time, it's his turn. Dominated the head and then switched it again. Switched the direction is what I mean. I don't think this is going to go time. I can see that we're going to see another big technique in a minute. Both of them are opening up. Ivanov, that big arm over the back there, and he nearly went over there to the left.
Отлично, Алан, внимательно, минута. Минута, внимательно. Также встречай.
The Russians have several fighters in the under 81 kilograms category. Blurry. The Olympic champion went out earlier on, first match actually. And Kubetsov, oh, that was close. Oh, Ivanov, well, he nearly catches him with a Kosodagak. And then Ivanov, sorry, Ivanov did the Kosoto. Kubetsov nearly turns it to his advantage with the Uchimata. Talk about action, reaction. He's going to get penalised now, Kubetsov. He'll get a second penalty up there for dropping. So second penalty up there, can't just drop down. He's only doing it to avoid being thrown, of course. 28 seconds left. One mistake and he could lose this. He's done it twice today already. People winning by a Wazari, trying to defend the lead and losing it in the last 10 seconds. The whole reason that you can't do it is basically you can't run away. This is going to go down now. They're shouting for third Shido for Kubetsov. 6 seconds to go. That won't go down very well, I'm telling you now. But it seemed to me that he was the one attacking. Oh! 6 seconds left and he's lost it, Kubetsov.
Winner and bronze medalist for number 81.
Ivanov wins by default, simply because Ivanov was Well, Kubetsov was defending that lead. Defended it by running away, and well, seems kind of pleased about that, but it must be the points. Well, he gets thrown, but then comes back. And like I said there was a good example of what not to do. So it was Ivanov, look, piling on the pressure, and it was Kubetsov that went down. Kubetsov just goes to floor. Anything to avoid being thrown.
Once again, the highlights this bronze medal contest.
Second bronze medal match. Here we go.
Next,
World champion, world number 2 in the rankings.
الميدالية البرونزية الثانية لوزن 81 كيلوغرام.
Up against Lee Sung-ho, Sagimuki of Israel.
Mrs. Amano Akiko.
Had to come through.
Welcome, Judo
Repechage fight against Borgesvili of Austria, and Sagimuki, of course, not happy that he lost to Frank de Witt in the quarterfinals. Frank de Witt not only caught him
in the white judogi representing
with a throw, but he also he arm locked him in the end, and so Frank de Witt in the final there against Grigalishvili of Georgia, the European champion, newly crowned, just out the juniors into the seniors, and really making a name for himself. Israeli support up there. Can this be another medal for the Koreans? Lee Sung-ho coming out here against the world champion. Sagimuki, one of the biggest throwers in world judo, I can tell you. Hasn't looked on his best form today, but like I said, it's not here. It's certainly at the Olympic Games. That's where you've got to reach your best form. But you need to rescue whatever you can, though, and you need to try and improve every match. That's the whole idea of it. Be consistent and get better. Muki opens up the account there. Lee was just trying to get an attack in. Dominating the sleeve grip, big arm over the top there. And you've got to fight the Koreans with really hard gripping strategies, because they are renowned for their hard gripping. Two drops in, Aggie's back to back there. Lee losing to Grigalishvili by Ippon in the end in that semi-final. He can go equally as well, left and right, Sagimuki. I've seen him get up, throwing somebody with a right-handed Sodisura Komigoshi, Osoto variation, Seanagi, and then suddenly switch it exactly the same to the other side. At the top level as well. This is the danger of having such big gripping strategies, because what happens is that you're kind of afraid of letting your partner get two hands on, especially if they're big throwers. Good attacks though from Lee. Suddenly switch. He's trying to get the right, the sleeve of Lee, Sagimuki. And then what will happen is he'll just suddenly switch it to the other side. Mashiponte, not only my dear friend, but somebody I've known for years and years. There he is, the director and the president of the Israeli Judo Federation. And wow, what a job he's done there. Rules it with a rod of iron, but they love him for it. She was, now was that a score? Went from arm to arm there. She might just ask to have a look at the screen there, which is not clear. So just have a little look here. Sagimuki commits there, but not quite as he normally does. Now he landed on one arm there, and for me it's not a score. So no score. Two Shidos up there to Muki. Cannot afford another one. Oh, looks for the counter there. Trying to catch Lee on the way up. Contest isn't over just because they're on their knees. You can let them start to come up and then still attack. Oh, now then, that was close as well. But really good from Lee, because he managed to turn full rotation onto his front. Are we going to see that one? Yes, we are. Have a look at this. Big Ashiwaza, big Kosoto, big rotation onto his front. Again, looking at it from the angle we were at, could have been a score, but when you see it from that particular angle there, you can see quite clearly that it's not. Now golden score, any score. Sagimuki knows that he can't stand still for a second. He has to keep on coming forwards, and it's dangerous doing that because Lee can throw. That Cianagi is so powerful. Oh, and to the left. And again, to the left, and it's strong. Now then. Was it a counter? I don't know. You can't do Kayashiwaza, any kind of counter with your own back hitting the ground first. Sagimuki started the contest. You might find that this is Muki's here, and certainly Lee thought that he turned it, but you can't. So we're going to have a little look at this now. Gives us a chance to look at it. Sagimuki was the one initiating the throw. Big hips through. Uchimata as well, and now Lee goes, but well, was it a counter? He didn't quite land on his back there for the counter. It might be Lee's, and that is a really difficult decision to make. If they can't decide, then they won't give it. Was Ari scored then to Sagimuki, and Muki wins the bronze medal. It was his first attack. He initiated the attack, and like I said, goes right-handed and left-handed at the top level against anybody, and once again, I mean, he'd been going right most of the time, I think, then suddenly switched it to left. Massive hip movements, one of the biggest throwers in the world. Cool, calm and collected. And yet again, the current world champion does a great job. Oran Smadja meets him off the mat. Well, he was the first Olympic silver medalist in the men's divisions for Israel ever. And now making such a good job of it as coach. Look at this hips coming across here. And, well, we got the landing first. So it's the landing of Lee that you've got to look at.
You can see the highlights.
The initiation was from Sagimuki, his technique first of all, and also he hooked the outside of the leg of Lee. So look at the right leg there, that hooked around the outside as well. And look who touches the ground first. Lee. Lee touches first, very close decision, it really was. And it was a great attempt from Lee. So it has to go to Muki. Wow. Well, I'm sure they're going to use that one in referee seminars to have a look at, because yeah, Lee can't believe it. But again, like I say, even the fighters will look at that very, very closely. Okay, so the final still to come. What a final. And Tato Grigolashvili of Georgia here, he is the new wonder boy, because he won the European title as a junior, and not long ago either, and here he is now in the final of the World Masters up against Frank de Witt. Frank de Witt, I'm telling you now, non-stop coming forwards. I promise you this is going to be an all-action contest. He's one of the most exciting fighters, Frank de Witt. He comes from every direction and throws caution to the wind. So I think he'll be going for Ippon, and I think he'll either score Ippon or he'll get thrown for Ippon. That's the kind of fighter he is here. It's all systems go Frank de Witt for the Netherlands, and Grigolashvili of Georgia is also a massive thrower. Got groundwork as well. And he's just suddenly come as a main contender for the Olympic Games. Almost sure it's going to be Grigolashvili that will go in the under 81 kilos category for Georgia. Clever fighter as well, so he'll think about this, try and, I think, quell the storm, and it will be a storm. Frank de Witt sometimes throws caution to the wind. Grigolashvili in white, Frank de Witt of the Netherlands in blue. And he's on good form as well. Should be interesting, this. Oh, and he switches to the other side there. Left and right there from Grigolashvili. Good success on the ground he's had, Frank de Witt. The Ivanov in the semi-final. Sagimuki in the quarters. Diallo of France and Eguite of Portugal. What a run through he's had. Oh, he went to the top of the head there, Grigolashvili. Can't do that. He did it to get Frank de Witt's chin up. Went to the forehead. bit nervous about it, Grigolashvili there. He's just taking his time. Doesn't want to grip up with DeWitt. Now going for the Sangaku Jimmy there, Frank DeWitt. All systems go. So now Grigolashvili has to do something, and he can't keep walking away. He's got to engage. Well, at the moment, I would say that Frank DeWitt climbing on top of Grigolashvili just needs to keep the mistakes to the minimum. Get a penalty for that if he's not careful. Grigolashvili will be penalised if he plays the jacket anymore. Taking his time, just catching his breath every time. Big arm over the top there, Frank DeWitt. Certainly can't write him off, can you? Grigolashvili under pressure. Frank DeWitt coming forwards. Now it's going to happen. Oh! Well, the elbow was out there. We could see it from this angle. I don't think the referee saw it. And I think that we'll have a look at the angles. If the elbow is out on the landing, then they won't give it. Frank DeWitt commits. Look at the counter technique here, but that elbow was out. No score will be given, I don't think. They'll take the Wazari off. So the Wazari comes off, it's all equal again, but you see what I mean about Frank DeWitt there, just goes for it. Thinks, come on, we've got to open this up a bit. He's going again here, oh, digging into the back leg there of Grigolashvili. Great match.
Stap voor stap, stap voor stap. Blijf weer verzorgen.
Look at the arm of Frank DeWitt there. It either goes underneath or over the top. Mate was called there. That was a great counter from Grigolashvili. It was superb, that, but it was after time was called. So they went outside the area. The referee called Mate. A little bit of blood on Frank DeWitt, I think his ear. And he has to leave the mat area in order to do it. Look at that, it started outside. So definitely not a score, absolutely. Has to start inside in the yellow area for it to count. I still think it's going to end in Ippon. I don't think that it's going to be penalties. I just have a feeling. Got to say though that this man here having a really good run, and he's opened up a lot of people's eyes, and came from nowhere to all of a sudden being a contender. He was in the juniors, of course, and that's what the juniors do. They perform well from early on, and they make the transition. Just 21 years of age. This is his favourite technique, Sasai Surakumi, which is an ankle foot sweep. Sasai is blocking and then of course the lifting action, and he does it from different positions, almost Uranagi. So here we go again. All bandaged up here, Frank de Witt, ready for action. I've seen him like this so often. Bit disconcerting when you've got that round an ear. Oh, that's it! And that's going to be a Wazari, and that's the Sasai Surakumiyashi that we were talking about. Massive lifting as well as blocking. And look at this now, goes into action. Frank de Witt made a mistake here. He's going to be lifted off that bottom leg, and now he's in all sorts of problems. Is he in problems with the arm? Yes, he's attacking the arm for the Jujigatami, and what a brilliant finish that was. Grigulashvili then wins the World Masters at under 81 kilograms, which is one of the most contested categories in the world. And when I say that, I mean that so many fighters close to each other in ability and level, and so many fighters that could win a potential world medal or European medal or continental medal. You know, there's just so many of them that you could mention.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist.
Great performance. Grigulashvili of Georgia then wins the gold medal.
Congratulations. Gold medal goes to Georgia.
It was always going to be explosive, and it was always going to end, I think, in Ippon. But it was terrific stuff there. He really opened up. He knew he had to kind of go for it, didn't he? Frank de Witt doesn't know anything else other than going for it. That's what he does. Sasai Surakumiyashi. Look at the block. Look at the lift. Slight variation of the traditional Gokyo variation, but then he takes Frank de Witt onto his back. He's got good newaza as well. I mean, don't forget that he did a complete double lapel turn, started the movement, turned it into the Jujigatami, and what a beautiful finish there. Frank de Witt couldn't do anything else but submit. Well, we've seen some absolutely superb judo, haven't we, in the final block here on day 2. It's been incredible. Yesterday was, well, a little bit more difficult, I think. Too many golden scores, but we've certainly seen a lot more technique in this second day of competition. 2 medal ceremonies still to come, so don't leave us. And I'll take you through the medal ceremonies as they happen. The first one is the ladies under 70 kilograms with ladies.
The medals will be presented by the head sport director of the International
Vladimir Barta, former European medalist. Competed at the same time, Vladimir and I, and he's now the sports director of the International Judo Federation. He presents the medals. Scott Jamaro of Germany and Kim Polling of the Netherlands get the bronze medals.
Silver medals representing Russia, Madina Taimazova.
Silver medal,
Gold medal
Demizova of Russia, and the gold medal, no doubting who won the gold medal, Ono Yoko of Japan.
Prize money and the flowers will be presented by the President of the Judo Federation of
Great bit of groundwork in the end. Always looked threatening with it, didn't she? Managed to turn Tamiziova onto her back, and she wasn't going anywhere. Gold medal for Japan. Second gold medal for Japan, and well deserved. And now the Japanese national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Japan.
النشيد الرسمي الياباني.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with VIP and judoka.
Some great performances then in this under 70 kilos category. Kim Polling coming back to her best. Sakimaro will be very pleased with her bronze medal as well. It was over Russia, 20 years of age, and there was 10 years difference. Gold medal winner, of course, Yoko Ono of Japan. Great performance, great standing, and great groundwork as well, and the transition was what won it in the end. Some highlights just prior to the last medal ceremony, the under 81 kilos category, and it's just about to happen. Please don't go away.
Before we start the last awarding ceremony, you can see the highlights of today's final block on the screen. Now we are waiting for the last awarding ceremony. This will be for men under 81 kilograms. medal ceremony for men under 81 kilo.
Last medal ceremony then of the day. 4 categories we've had today, and wow, what a cracker this was, the under 81 kilos category. Daniel Florin Lasco, who is now the sport director of the International Judo Federation, and he's going to present the prizes. Former world champion and great judoka, and he presents the prizes. First one goes up to Sagimuki of Israel. The world champion has to be content with bronze this time, and he's standing on there with Ivanov of Bulgaria. Silver medal goes to Frank DeWitt. What an effort he made. And Grigorashvili of Georgia. His world ranking will change, I'm sure it will, after today. And he is a real contender, isn't he? Wow. Brilliant display of judo, and what a Jujikatami to finish it off there. Knew exactly what he wanted. He looked dangerous throwing wise. He looked dangerous on the ground as well. Marinescu giving the flowers to the fighters. Russia. Georgia, sorry, on top of the rostrum.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture with Prix and Judo.
Well, we're certainly going to see a lot more of this man, aren't we? Grigorashvili has made an impact, massive impact, winning the gold medal here in World Doha Masters of 2021, and did such a good job. Grigorashvili then the gold medalist. Frank DeWitt gets a well-deserved silver. Wow, non-stop that man. And Ivanov of Bulgaria, Sagimuki, the current world champion, get bronzes. What a lineup that is. Anything can happen at the Olympics. It normally does as well, but these are the most consistent fighters in the world. And well, most of everybody in the category were here. 1 or 2 missing, but it's been an amazing couple of days. Better today. Here's the medal table then. Look, Korea have got 3 gold medals, 3 men's categories, 3 gold medals. Not bad, eh? Japan lying second with 2 golds and 4 silvers, and France are third with 2 golds, 1 silver, 1 bronze, and of course Kosovo, Georgia down there. You can see that they've got a gold apiece. And well, it's still plenty of action to come tomorrow. We've got 5 more categories tomorrow, the last 5, the light heavyweights and the heavyweights, and the great Teddy Riner will be there as well. All right, he's going for his 3rd Olympic gold medal at the next Olympic Games, but he's got a well, he's got a mountain to climb, you could say. It's getting harder for him. But anyway, we're all interested in the results. We're looking forward to more judo action tomorrow. I'll be back at the same time. From me, Neil Adams, it's goodbye for now.